Leagues has been out for about less than a week, just under a week. It's a week tomorrow now. So 6 days, we've had a good chance to look at all the relics. I'm going to do them in tier order. So tier 0 first with obviously Endless Harvest, which would be all the ones on the top. Oh, they are in tier order. Awesome. That makes it even easier. Anon has put it together for us beautifully. And before we start, I'll share a bit of insight. Yesterday I made a joke, which I tweeted, and people took very seriously. Like, people are offended by this image here, where I crossed out all the bad relics in blue, tweeted it, just said blue relics equal bad, and people are fucking, like, disgusted with it. But that's RuneScape Twitter for you. They're all fucking retards that believe everything they see. So, I made an amendment to it. I also released the second version, which is version number 2. I added to the list of Bloodthirsty and Superior Sorcerer, just to upset people even more. So, this is obviously a joke. But I'll be rating based on my experience, and unfortunately I can't rate the ones I haven't experienced, but I can also rate it based on what I've heard about certain relics as well, and just what I've seen from the chat, people telling me about their experience with different relics. Can you time me out for 15 minutes? I actually enjoy Trickster. Tell you what, I'll just ban you instead. Okay, so we'll start off with the first 3, which one's this one? Endless Harvest, Production Prodigy, and Trickster. Now, I think, personally, Endless Harvest is, in my opinion, the weakest of the 3, given that it is really just for the purpose of AFKing. There's a lot of AFK potential, and it does work well with other relics, but it's a very weak first tier. Like, you're at the start of the league, you're at the lowest XP rates, you're trying to build your account right away, and I feel like that starting out with a relic that doesn't really do much until later in the game is a really weak relic, and therefore goes in the D tier. Very low selection, only selected by a very few who look to not doing much content. I think Production Prodigy would be A tier. I think it is very useful through the entirety of the game. It's not S tier because it does have some issues. A lot of the drawbacks are things like when you make pies, for example, it doesn't make all the pies at once. It doesn't obviously do bolts, which you don't expect it to do bolts and darts anyway. But it does get the plus 12 boost, which has been excellent for things like Herblore and crafting especially. Smithing has helped a lot with getting diaries done. So it's really overall a very strong relic. Let me just read what else it does here. 25% chance that the player will make an extra product. It's massive for making potions and resources and cooking. I got 99 cooking in 30 minutes at Hosidius with Port Piscarillis. So we're not doing donor clips during the tier list, so shut the fuck up. The video won't hear it anyway. And then we have Trickster. Trickster, I think, is probably B tier. I think Trickster is... The reason it's B tier is because it's not as good as Production Prodigy. Like, flat out, it is just simply not. I'm sure it's great not having to do agility, but run energy isn't really a factor in this game, so higher agility levels offer almost no value, and you have to do rooftops, Hello Sepulchre, and, well, depending on your regions, obviously, and content that is agility related anyway, so you have to train the skill, you have to run rooftops with your Trickster boots on. It doesn't really provide much content outside of that. The pickpocketing, I'm sure, is great. I've been frustrated with thieving. I've not enjoyed thieving, but I also haven't spent a lot of time thieving. And you don't spend a lot of time thieving because of boosted XP rates. So, again, a lot of people say, well, good luck getting blood shards, which makes no sense when those people are also picking Berserker. Why would you be using the Blood Fury? The hunter side of things are completely irrelevant, and fire making is also completely irrelevant because Wintertodt, unless you don't pick Korend, because Wintertodt is just super quick and super strong. So I think, to be honest, I don't think Trickster is as strong as Production Prodigy. I think people just really like the aspect of not having to run rooftops, which is just, let's be honest, fucking lazy. Next we have the teleports, we have the fairy rings and the Globetrotter. I think by default, I mean, I don't have the fairy ring, I chose Globetrotter, right? I think Globetrotter is... I think they're both B tier relics. I think they're both B tier relics because I think the thing about Globetrotter that's annoying is that it doesn't... I mean, it's only certain things, which is just the Nexus. There are other teleports I would really like more. Depending on your regions, it's really valuable. It could be really shit. As for the fairy ring, again, it's all region. It all depends on your regions, right? And what spellbooks you go. If you're going to go mage heavy and you're going to go to desert, you're going to have different spellbooks, so you don't need the Globetrotter. The thing I like about the fairy is that you can teleport beyond level 30 wilderness, which I think Jagex might end up patching. I'm not sure. That's a bit fucked. So it's amazing, but also when you're trying to PK, or if you're in a fight with someone, at level 50 Wilderness, you can just teleport out. There's no limits on where you can teleport with the Fairy Ring one. Not sure if that's an oversight they're going to change or not. As for Globetrotter, it would be better if you could last destination and it would identify that that is Edgeville and teleport you out at level 30 rather than having to open a menu as well. So Wilderness-wise, they're kind of... Wilderness-wise, the Fairy Ring is unironically better, even though this one can also teleport you deep into the wildy. But again, they're just teleports. There's no wrong choice with these two relics. They both have pros and cons, so either one works totally fine depending on your region and playstyle. We've got Banker's Note and Fire Sale. It's a very controversial topic, this one. Everyone, what you see, let's be honest, everyone with Banker's Note makes fun of you for picking Fire Sale. Everyone with Fire Sale is too busy having fun and playing the game without limitations, not trying to prove a point. Which I think says a lot about which relic is better. Banker's Note is straight up fucking E tier. Okay, there's no denying it. Fire Sale is probably B tier. Okay, Fire Sale is great until obviously you don't need money, which is, well, until you don't need to use the shops. You can still get a lot of, sounds like player bias. Maybe player bias, yes, but Banker's Note is so broken. It is, but so is having 1800 total level and instant recall. Yes, I know ring crafting with Banker's Note is like 5 mil XP an hour. With instant recall, it's probably 2.5, 3 mil an hour, which is still really good. So, what's the problem? If you're learning bosses, then Note is dope. So basically, if you're garbage, Note is dope. Thank you for confirming. Fire Sale, you never have to worry about money. And if you do have to worry about money, it's very simple to get. It also makes the Toggle and early game grind a hell of a lot easier. Gems are free. Buying extra bank slots, which is irrelevant, I get that because it's leagues, but still, it's nice to have, you know, a ridiculous amount of bank spaces for all those clue scroll items. There is zero financial responsibility. Fast Scale, you skip early bit bullshit. You skip a lot of stuff with Fire Sale. I still use Fire Sale today. Especially when you go melee relic. If you went melee relic, then arrows and runes will also always be an expense that you don't need. You cut out time with Fire Sale. With Banker's Note, you're just thinking, oh, I won't need food when I'm bossing. If you go Soul Stealer, you won't anyway. So it does not matter. You can use Fire Sale to max your bank. Absolutely you can. Yeah, you can't buy the bank slots, but you can buy items, alch them, and then get the bank slot. Done. Surely 10,000 sharks will save me from fucking up a mechanic and eating 100 damage. Yeah, absolutely, until you potlock yourself and die. Bankers goes well with Trickster. I think Bankers goes well with a lot. I think Bankers is E tier purely because I personally think that once you hit 1800 total level and you have unlimited recall teleports, Banker's Note falls off incredibly hard. The need to bank is almost gone, except for people that are doing some sort of PVM. Which if you're learning, okay, so you're learning PVM, so you want Banker's Note. What happens once you've learnt it after like 5-6 KC and you got the hang of it? Then what? Banker's Note isn't too bad. It's actually quite good if you run Gobble Zone and other shit. It's really debatable for how long and what content you want to do. It's E tier, and I fucking said it, okay? Everyone with Banker's Note needs to prove themselves. Everyone with Fire Sale is already playing the game, having fun. Enough said. Butter my bread. Get out of it, alright? Instances where Banker's Note shines. Why? Completely right point on Fire Sale. Absolutely. Okay, so now we have the three melee, the three combat relics. These are all the same, really, let's be honest. They have their perks. On paper, range is actually really shit, but in practice, it's fucking powerful, man. Just on paper, it looks like garbage. And I think Magic is infinitely the strongest of the lot. There was obviously a Magic and Desert bias for this league. Mage busted it. Mage is absolutely fucking strong. I think Melee is really powerful as well. I think they're all fucking powerful. But I find in a 1v1, if everyone is on the same playing field in a PvP, everyone has the same gear, and everyone knows how to PK, I unironically believe Melee will come out the winner. You can be like, well, but Mage can sit there freezing. All Melee needs to do actually is just freeze you as well. If you freeze the Major at the right time and close the distance, they are fucked immediately. You are too tanky. You are immune to like poison and dragonfire, which doesn't matter anyway. But you are too tanky, and that's all it takes is that, and then you just dump specs. I genuinely think that Melee would win in a 1v1 between all three if everyone had the same gear, same playstyle. If it was LMS, for example, I think Melee Relic would win in most instances. Melee immune to freeze as well, right? Not PvP freeze. I don't believe it's PvP freeze. I'm pretty sure PvP can freeze you every time. I've been fighting PKs or people in the woody, and I feel like there's sometimes they splashed on me. They still have to land, I think. But if they land, you will freeze, yes. I'm not sure how it works PvP. But I think Melee Relic is absolutely the strongest of the three in PvP. In PvM, however, Mage is easily the strongest, with these two probably A tier, I would say. I think these two are just behind Mage. They're still really strong, but I think just purely, depending on your regions again, of course, but what Magic offers as a Relic is too fucking strong. But PvP-wise, I think Melee would take it for sure. Next, we have these three, which are... What the fuck are these? Bloodthirsty, Infernal Gathering, and Treasure Seeker. Right. I think Infernal Gathering is straight up fucking E tier as well. I think Infernal Gathering is dog shit. Maybe D. See, the thing is, this varies. I'm going to put it in the middle. Because unfortunately, yeah, you'll be frozen in Star Wars, yeah. Unfortunately, with the Infernal Gathering, the problem you have is it depends on your previous relics. If you chose Endless Harvest, Infernal Gathering is really good. Might even be C tier. But if you chose Production Prodigy, or Trickster, or Banker's Note, or Fire Sale, or, you know, anything else, it kind of drops down. I know that Banker's Note, Fire Sale are the same tier, but you know what I mean. Because a lot of regions have dragon items now. I know that dragon tools are not the same as fucking... I've got a clue scroll. I know dragon tools are not the same as the infernal tools, but if you have Production Prodigy, you're kind of just wasting the potential of these two relics for even more AFK. I think it requires Endless Harvest, otherwise it's really bad. Infernal is good for early. This is a tier 5 relic. Define early. Free shit, so to avoid cooking and other trash you didn't run if you didn't run Endless Harvest. No, I think this is if you did run Endless Harvest. If you didn't run Endless Harvest, then you want to pick one of these two. Which I think purely depends now whether you want to have fun and see big drops from Slayer, which is going to go C tier because this is a pretty meh relic. Like, the problem with this relic is that you can't pick your own Slayer task, right? Which is the point, because I think the last 3 leagues you were able to pick your own, or the last 2 at least, you were able to pick your own Slayer task, and that's pretty much all the league came about. Just picking your own Slayer task, and it was really busted. So Jagex kind of just made it more convenient to have a Slayer task by just getting mad points and skipping, but you can't specifically pick exactly what you want to kill. Bloodthirsty Superiors are awesome, but Treasure Seeker, I think, is just too strong with the clue scrolls. Now, I know they're bugged, but they're fixing it. But the amount of clue scrolls you get, the opportunity to get another casket, the amount of collection log slots and points that this gives you, helps you progress through the league so much fucking faster. This is arguably an A tier fucking relic. It is far too fucking strong. Like, I think that picking Bloodthirsty is more or less just because it sounds fun more than it is actually good. Genuinely, I think that the Treasure Seeker one, which this is the first league I've gone Treasure Seeker, because this has been in all the leagues. I think this is really just fucking too strong to give it up. Not to sweat in thinking about that Juicy Relic. It's good, man. I could maybe see a case for it if you have no Dragon Tools in your regions and if you pick Trickster. Too many clauses to call it good. Absolutely, yeah. I agree. I mean, there's a Dragon Pickaxe in almost every region now. You need Asgarnia if you don't pick the Wilderness or Desert, which most people pick Desert. You got Dragon Axe in Feminic and Kourend, which a lot of people would pick Kourend. And you've got the Harpoon in Desert and Kourend as well. They're very popular regions, you know? Now here's a spicy one. This is going to upset a lot of people. Equilibrium is F tier. If you pick Equilibrium, you're just boring as batshit. You have Farmer's Fortune and Ruinous Powers. Now, a lot of people justify going Ruinous Powers because they go, well, I won't have Piety, I don't need Kourend. So if I have Ruinous Powers, then that's good, I don't need Piety. You realize Piety is only 5% strength and 8% accuracy over the original, like over Incredible Reflexes and Ultimate Strength, right? It's a 5% strength bonus and 8% accuracy. It's big, but it's not that fucking big. So not having Piety is not a big deal. I can guarantee you that. Now, the Ruinous Powers does offer, obviously, better than Piety and better than Rigor and Augury, of course. I didn't want to learn a whole new prayer book for a league, to be honest. And at the same time, there's a faster prayer drain and there's some drawbacks to the prayers. I don't think the prayers were that fun when I was trying them. I did not enjoy them one bit. I think the value of Farmer's Fortune was too strong to think Ruinous Powers was even a question for me personally. I think Ruinous Powers was a lazy addition by the JMods personally. I think it's a cop-out relic. And I think that because everyone is blindsided by how important DPS is in a region, in a game mode where DPS is fucking forced down your throat by relics, I think Ruinous Powers is honestly B tier. I don't think it is any higher than that. I think Farmer's Fortune is S tier, absolutely. I genuinely believe that's the play. People go, well, PVMers want Ruinous Powers. PVMers don't need Ruinous Powers. I can tell you right now. Absolutely. Ruinous Powers are prayer boost and tier 7 is pretty good. I'm going to tell you right now, Ruinous Powers is B tier. Auxiliary Prayers are super cool with Soul Stealer. I'm sure they are. Absolutely. Guess what's cool with Soul Stealer? Anything else PVM related. Ruinous Powers is a way for Jax to sneakily try a new prayer book for the main game. No, it's not coming to the main game. Question for me is how to synergize with Soul Stealer after the bolt fix. I have no idea. Farmer's Fortune is one of the most broken relics. Farmer's Fortune is so fucking powerful. People look at it and go, well, once you get 99 farming, you don't need it anymore. No, this relic is fucking busted. It feeds you everything you need in terms of Herblore. And it's not just getting 99 that you need. If you want points and you want tasks completed, why do you think people sit at Pest Control and go 99 all combat skills? You want to go to 50 mil in each? Farming is done. You plant Hespori seeds, Hespori spawns immediately. The amount of tasks, like the league tasks and points that come out of Farmer's Fortune is fucking insane on this list. Farmer's Fortune funds it so hard. I'm only 40 mil farming XP, I didn't have a 10 mil still. But the amount of, I've got 99 Herblore banked easily, and some, for sure. The resources from it are too fucking good. Moves any prep time, absolutely. Even in Chambers of Xeric. Chambers of Xeric, you put a seed in the ground, it auto grows. Production Prodigy, you pull the seed from the ground. Oh no, sorry, with Farmer's Fortune, you pull the seed, immediately get rid of the Buchu, you have 140 fucking herbs on the ground. Production Prodigy, you make the potions. Prep time, it's almost worth not doing no preps in CMs, in Chambers of Xeric, because prepping is so quick. The slowest part of prep in Cox, when you have Farmer's Fortune and Production Prodigy, is filling gourds with fucking water. That's because you don't have a Lunar Spellbook, because no one picks Feminine, because that's fucking idiots. Farmer's Fortune is incredibly fucking strong. I think it is far more a smarter choice than Ruinous Powers. Ruinous Powers is more for if you just want to fucking send it, which I get, but you can send it without Ruinous Powers and not miss out. People, I feel like the idea is that Ruinous Powers means you're missing out on PVM, and you really are not. I can guarantee you are not. It just adds it. Yeah, Equilibrium was terrible. Equilibrium's always bad in every league though. It's just a shit relic. Next, we have the 3 combat relics. Well, the next 3 combat relics. You have Berserker, you have Soul Stealer, and you have Weapons Master. Now, Weapons Master is very unique because if you don't have a Light Bearer, you don't have access to Light Bearer, I feel like Weapons Master is not really a choice that you should consider because Light Bearer doubles how powerful it is with the regen time, right? So you would think if you're going to get Weapons Master, you don't have access to the desert, you've kind of wasted this skill. Otherwise, I think it's pretty B tier. It's a pretty powerful fucking relic. The next 2 are, I think Soul Stealer is S tier. I think Soul Stealer is perfect. I've been running it for quite a while now. I will do like 30 Calvarion, or sorry, 30 Vedion kills and not use a single resource, provided I don't fuck up, obviously. Soul Stealer is fucking strong. Every attack style, no matter what, really fucking powerful. I'm excited to use it with Blood Fury, like the Nightmare. I was doing the Nightmare in fucking Obsidian, no problem. You heal off of the towers. You just melee the towers even. You heal off of it. It's perfect. It is very strong. Currently bugged with ranged. Is it just it doesn't work with the bolts? Because it says specifically it doesn't work with special attacks. I don't know if that implies bolts. So I'd say it is, right? Because when I'm ranging it, it heals me. I heard Woog said 14-second Leviathan kill, Weapon Master, Zero Crossbow. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, absolutely. Because you just go through your health, right? But I just think Light Bearer would make this even more practical. They're fixing it. Oh, so they're going to make it work with bolts. Okay, interesting. Best of luck. Berserker is strong. People find it very strong with Mage because you get a lot of max hits in straight away. And obviously you want to be lower health, right? I think Berserker is the most fun of the 3 relics, but I don't think it is better than Soul Stealer. I think Berserker might be... It might be A tier, it might be B tier, I don't know. It's hard to say. The reason I'm saying this is because... You might be having fun with Berserker now, but I guarantee you that's because you're doing content that doesn't involve a whole lot of chip damage or a whole lot of, I guess if you're doing big groups, it probably doesn't matter a whole lot, but if you try and go do a small group or even just a solo Challenge mode, Chambers of Xeric. Good luck having your health sit below 50%, like 50 HP, to fully utilize the extra damage you get from this relic, right? Because you're just going to get fucking one hit by Olm. Nice compilation from Banker's Note. What the fuck does Banker's Note have to do with Berserker? Nice combination. What, to make it look like a dickhead? I think A tier is fair because in bigger teams it matters less. But I just think there's a Berserker one-shots the Bubba Puzzle Room Monkeys. I feel like you could one-shot them with the correct weapon too, right? I find in the main game I do that quite a lot. Undying with Zerker and Onyx is pretty rough. Undying with Zerker. We're not up to Undying yet. I wonder if they'll nerf Mage being 3 hits. No, they won't, and that's totally fine. Because that works great when you're doing like Gargoyles. Or if you're doing like fucking Dark Beasts. But as soon as that first hit lands, it kind of falls off. I think Soul Stealer is far more valuable for longer trips if you're trying to do extended tasks. If you're trying to do, I don't know, I guess, bigger raids. Who needs healing if they got infinite in their bag? But you want to have your health as low as possible, right, with Berserker? So you kind of want to avoid healing at the same time, don't you? Which is why you probably wouldn't use a Blood Fury with it. Otherwise, you're just going to ruin the damage that you get. Why would you want to heal? Soul Stealer plus Banknote isn't overkill. You just don't use Banknote because you have Soul Stealer. All you're telling me is that you made a mistake. Where's Master Boss Banker's Note with Sharkberry, Carambar? That's the play. Because you would just heal and inspec, and heal and spec. Makes Soul Stealer a little less appealing. Cope. Okay, now we've got the last 3 boys here. We have the Guardian, the Executioner's Axe, and Undying Retribution, which I haven't actually had the pleasure of using yet. I'm still on my way to tier 8. I am going to choose Executioner's Axe because I don't really have an interest in Undying Retribution. I don't die. It's that simple. So Undying Retribution is not what I'll be picking. And for Guardian, unfortunately, I've only heard bad things about Guardian. I've heard Guardian is pretty shit in comparison. I spoke to some random in-game who had it, and he was like, yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, he was underwhelmed with it. This is like day 2 as well. I don't know how he got there that quick, but he was, yeah, pretty underwhelmed with Guardian and wished he picked something else. I've heard nothing good about it since. So be cautious picking Guardian. I could be wrong. That's purely what I've heard. So that's going in B tier for now. You don't die. Where's your Iron Man then? How about you throw yourself off a cliff? Cunt. And Retribution. Undying Retribution will probably be a bit stronger in that aspect, purely because it doesn't count as a death and rage, which means you can just fucking send it. But Executioner's Axe, I believe, from what I've seen and heard, is S tier. Especially with the melee relic, because it makes ranged and mage far less obsolete for me. I can throw an Executioner's Axe at Olm hands and not have a problem now, because I've already got melee covered at Olm's head. Skips the entirety of like Enraged Zuck phase, Verzik phases, and Warden's phases, things like that. It is fucking disgusting. Undying Retribution is hilarious in Souls. Yeah, I've seen it in Souls. It's fucking awesome. Guardian is flat damage increase and helps a ton of off-relic combat styles like Acro and Wardens. So does the Executioner's Axe, especially when you're melee relic. So that's what I'm going with. That is the official tier list. If you have a separate opinion to what I've said in this video, it's totally fine. You're wrong. Get over it. I don't care. I'm not changing it. Melee relic plus SS, Soul Stealer, and Executioner's Axe on top. Oh lord, yes, that's what I'll be sending very soon. So if you have to debate these relics and you really want to have a discussion about it, feel free to come to my live streams, which I'm live right now, obviously doing this, and further on, because I'd love to hear your ignorant opinions. And for those on Twitter, fucking get the fuck over yourself, dude. Like, it was nothing but a fucking joke. People are genuinely upset at this fucking this post there. I'm going to be posting this tier list to see what they have to say as well, because they're fucking idiots, the people on that website. So that's the Relics tier list. If you disagree, that's fine. Let me know. I'm excited to hear your complaints and your coping strategies as to why you picked Banker's Note. Good luck. Fire sale supremacy. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge.